Hey everybody, Anthony, 4x4 Adventures, just heading out of Kingoonya, back to the west and turning right and heading up to Googs track, 7 a.m. Yep, 7 a.m. The sun has just risen and we've got some awesome weather and rest of the trip ahead of us, so stay tuned. So 7:22 a.m. we're going through the first gate to the start of Googs track. Let the tyres down. Alright, 7:31 a.m. 4 cars. Tyres are down to 18. Done this before, a couple of times at least. This time we're just going to actually see how long it takes to get through. We're thinking we might just get through in a day rather than camp here, but we'll just see how we go for time. We'll let you know if that's achievable. We're going to give an odometer reading, trip A actually, 124 k's on at the moment. Let's see how we go. Actually, I think we've got a playlist, Googs track. So on our YouTube channel, 4x4 Adventures, on our YouTube channel, 4x4 Adventures, we've got playlists. So just click on 4x4 Adventures and then, you know, that page opens up. You go playlists, have a look down. Let me know in the comments, is there one there, Googs track? I've got a feeling there might be one there. Been up here, this car's been up here, I think at least once. Been up here at least one other time. You know all these tracks, you know, you forget how many. Once you've been a few times, you lose count. Anyway. We've actually got a few spots of rain. The weather says fine and sunny every day, no talk about rain or clouds. Anyway, we're down south, we're headed north. It's definitely going to be clearing up once we get ahead of this grey skies, a little bit grey. You can see the horizon up there, you know, where we're going to be. And the next week or two will be awesome. So hopefully get some footage for you so you can have a look around, in case you haven't been out to the places we're going again. Or even if you have and you just want to see the current conditions. Just went past a marker that had a 150k mark on it, and we got 139 call it 140 on the trip A, so, and says 150, so yeah, just to give you a point, gone through 3 gates, just past the 150 sign, and been over a few dunes, maybe 10 or 15. Obviously they get bigger as they go. There's not much in the way of sand dunes at the moment, but yep, these are sand dunes. Still in high range at the moment. Trans is at 85, so at the moment we're just cruising along. Happy days. Okay, 8:16 a.m. and we just went past the 140k sign. Just following some dingo prints down the track here since yesterday. Got a few because they're in both wheel tracks and down the centre as well, so I'd say at least 3 or 4, maybe 5. One of the bits of information I want to remember to include, so I'll do it now, is for the first at least 20k, so this is in case I forget to do it later in the video, to give you a general idea, there's heaps of, for the first 20k's there's heaps of open flat areas and corrugation. Well, there is, but open flat areas that you could call camp areas. Like right here, right on my left, there's a flat area there. There's quite a few open areas between the bushes. At the moment there's a bit of drizzle. There's been rain around in recent weeks, so the track's pretty firm at the moment. I'm in high range still, just cruising, just rolling with it. Average speed is probably about 40. That is the speed limit, you know. We've got possible cars coming the other way, so I recommend when you go over dunes, always go up. You can have momentum up them if you need to, but as you get to the crest you need to back it right off so you can see what's going on over the other side. It goes for both ways on any sand dunes really. Of course UHF and flags come in handy as well, but always just slow it down because it's going to reduce the risk that you're going to collide, and of course the slower you go the less damage is going to get done. Hopefully then maybe everyone can drive away. So you know, for example, alright, we're moving up this one, but I'm totally off the gas to get to the top, basically at a speed that you can see what's over there. So if it's a steep one, you should be almost stopped when you get to the top until you see over it to make sure, well, who knows what's over there, right? You don't know what's over there. Could be someone that's been bogged since yesterday as well, right? So just think outside the square. But yeah, heaps of camp areas out on the flat, few corrugations. I don't know really how that happens, you know. I mean, it's just a cruisy track. Let your tyres down. If the tyres are flat, I don't ever see how they make these corrugations. Obviously, people that don't want to let their tyres down, that sort of thing. So obviously it's a track that's not really maintained. As far as being overgrown, yeah, I'd call it an overgrown track because it's really kind of overgrown, as in the bushes are all the way up to the sides of your car. But that being said, I bring any vehicle up here, any Prado, and not worry about pinstripes, because if you drive right, if you've got your line right, I can drive on this track without touching anything on the paintwork at all. So there's plenty of room for a 120, 150 Prado. You just got to pick your line right, and of course always look for the dead sticks, always avoid those. They're going to give you the pinstripes, where anything green leafy sort of stuff isn't really going to bother you too much. You're going to hear it, but it's not really going to matter too much at all. But as far as I know, nothing's touched this car. Maybe a touch on one mirror once or something by a bit of brush or something, but so it is quite wide in places. Like here it's open, but there is overgrown areas as well. And track conditions pretty good. Like I said, we're just sitting on 40 k's the whole time. I'm in high range. Transmission's on 86 degrees, so I'm not working hard. We're on 18 psi. I come to somewhere like this, is what I mean, where you get excited and you think you're not going to make it, you can't see over there, you got to just slow down, right? If everyone's doing that both ways, we're not going to have any problems. I guess a bit more info for people that watch the whole video and want the info. I think it's the 14th of April 2024. I say I think because I'm not sure. Pretty sure. So no fires, if I remember correctly, until the 15th. Gas fires only. So yeah, plenty of firewood. I don't know if you're allowed to collect it. Probably not. You might have to bring in your own, obviously, if you need to, because you're freezing cold. Then, you know, a lot of rules avoided when, you know, it's a matter of survival. So, you know, you got that one up your sleeve. Plenty of wood out here. What else was I going to say? That's right. It's 12 degrees. 8:32 a.m. 12 degrees. Here's another one of these signs. 158.7 on my odometer. 130k. They're pretty new actually. They weren't there any of the other times I've been on this track. So popped up in the last few years, I'd say. Over the last probably, they look really new. I'd say the last year or two, but something like that. Alright, just passing the 120k sign. Alright, we're just at the Googs Lake turnoff, the memorial. We're going to have a quick look at that, and bada bing, we'll move and have a quick look at the lake, and then we'll continue to Mount Fink. Alright, quick look at the memorial. You can come and have a look yourself. A couple of photos. Don't take money. You can make a deposit, no withdrawals. That way to the lake for a quick look, and then boom, we're out of here. I'll go down towards the lake. Yeah, might have that much rain out here, you never know, it might be full, who knows. There it is, Googs, Googs Lake, Googs, Googie. There you go. Not going for a swim like you thought, are we? Yeah. Actually, looks a bit wet over there. Like I said, fair bit of rain lately, so a lot of it could have a bit of water on it. Bit soft underfoot here. I haven't broken through the crust yet. Alright, so we're heading back out of the campground, 9:49 AM, 178 on the odometer. From this run I can say from Kingoonya to the campground is an easy 3-hour run. So, you know, it looks like we did it including a fair stop at the memorial, probably spent 15-20 minutes. So if you're real quick, you could do it in a couple of hours. I think we're about 2.5 and probably 3 if you were taking your time a bit. Depending on the sand conditions, of course. Okay, so we've came out of Googs Lake back to the memorial intersection, hang a righty-tighty, and we found a few softer sand dunes that are a bit roughed up. So we did go to low range for a couple, and then it all smoothed out, firmed up. So we're back to high range again, you know. So we'll just keep it on the trans temps and that, but it's mainly pretty cruisy. So I'm sure every other time I've done this track it'll be in low range because it's hotter, the sand's softer and all that sort of thing. But this time it's just really cruisy. We just passed the 110 kilometre sign. 100 kilometre sign at 10:31 AM. Bit bumpy up this one. So I thought I'd just grab the camera out and show you. The further you get, the more they just want to speed over it and bounce over it, and it's a bit destroyed to be quite honest. But not too bad. I've seen worse. High range. Let's see what this next one's like. I'll show you if it's a bit lumpy or not. So what I'm trying to do, smoothest ride is hitting it at about 40, trying to keep a bit of momentum over it and let the suspension do its work. As the vehicle slows a little bit, where I've tried the complete stop, crawling over it, that's really slow, and you still tend to get rocked around a lot, but they all vary a little bit, so you can't really tell. There's a few holes in the track that you don't really want to hit at speed either, so a bit lumpy, so I think I'll just give it away straight away. I'll show you how slow goes. Pretty smooth so far. Nothing wrong with the track as in firmness. It's just, yeah, a lot of people have dug some holes in there and it makes it really, that's a pretty good one actually, no problem. Alright, we just passed the 80k mark, 11:15 AM. High range over all the rough stuff seems to work really well. I've tried high, low, looking at the transmission temps on both. Of course, I always recommend low range for your trans temp, but you also got to look at your speed because your transfer case temps. But that sort of info, that's probably on 4x4 diesel, not 4x4 Adventures. Oh look, you can see Ayers Rock. Just joking, it's Mount Finke, you fool. They really know how to wreck these tracks. Boom! But we're smoothing it out. So what I've decided, if you want to get on Googs track and you're super worried about pinstripes, don't go north of Googs Lake. So come in from Kingoonya, go to Googs Lake, because it's not really badly overgrown, but it's more overgrown, it's a bit tighter in places, and there's definitely a lot more stuff touching the mirrors north of the lake, yeah? So you're going to get a little bit of light pinstriping. Nothing I'd say is too bad or worth avoiding. But if you happen to be one of those people that went out and brought a 300 series and you don't want to get a mark on it, and the mist is going to go crazy, probably don't bring it up here unless you give it a good wash and cut and polish before you get home. In case you missed it in my other videos, all this paint protection, all these expensive programs, you know, they can cause their own problems as well. They are expensive and they don't work 100%. You're still going to need to get a cut and polish afterwards. So to be honest, I mean, I don't use or recommend them. Just choose a vehicle that you're happy to take out there and use it, and you get a bit of wear and tear on it. It's all cut and polish out usually. If not, paint's probably cheaper than some of these wrap prices that I hear about. So there you go, but I'm not suggesting you would need paint. These 120s, the paint's bloody rock hard. It's really good. You can absolutely hammer the things, and it comes up great. Just past the 60k mark, 12:22 p.m. Hungry time, 2:35 on trip A. We just went past the 50k sign after our lunch break. It's now 1:24 p.m. cruising along. Oh, did I mention the sun's out and it's 29 degrees, so about the sunny top temperatures we're expecting each day for the next couple of weeks until we return back to the break from the warm weather back to Melbourne. But at the end of the day, 29 degrees, beautiful. Well, this part of the track is closed. We've just come from that way, and there's a chicken track up the side now, and you can probably see why. I don't know if you've heard about this one on social media, but I haven't. And this is where you got to be very careful who you let do your auto electrical, and all these lithium batteries and stuff. I don't know what the cause of this is, but I can only assume. Get some fuses, and once it starts, everything burns. So there you go. It was a vehicle. It looks like it started a fire here, looking at the trees. Right, see the tree over there? It's all burnt. Angle? Quick, get the food out of the fridge. Oh, they had? Yeah. Spare camping gear, gas stove, wine bottles, a few cans, 2 angles. Lost a bit of gear in this trip. Can you imagine the effort you went to building this and this setup, and you forgot to put some fuses, or you know, had a lithium battery? Right, here you go, have a look inside.
The beer bottles have all cracked and smashed.
Not much left. What do you reckon was inside this wire? I haven't thought about it yet. I'm asking before I think. Oh, more tyres, 2 more spares. Yeah, okay,
Tyres,
that's the wire from the tyres, yeah. Same as the wire on the ground here. What a mess. Is this a problem for the environment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Straight past the Mount Finch sign. Not going out there on this trip. Oh, have a look at this. This is a bit different. It's a bit of a, almost like a salt lake flat over to the left. Bit of a edge of a salt lake that you go through. Sorry I haven't put a lot of footage up, but I just figured it's boring. It's just driving, it's straightforward, it's just bumpy stuff. More of what we showed you early in the video. I mean, we're much later in the video now. We're 258 k's. It's 1:57 p.m. Mount Finch down that way to the left, 7 k's, which is a hill over there. You know, it's a hill. If you haven't seen a hill before, you can head that way. Sometimes when we're here, it's hot. Well, it's hot now. It's 30, but it's hot, like 40, and the sand's really soft, and it hasn't rained for a long time, and people have really dug it up, so it's really hard to go up fast, and you've got to let your tyres down, and sometimes you've got to back up and have another go. And we could get out and get some footage and give you the entertainment you want, but I reckon if you wanted that entertainment, you're still not watching this video. You go on, you're off watching 24/7 all the action, how to wreck your car, yes, or one of those type of shows. But you know, this is just the information, the real information about the current conditions, the distances. Fuel gauge is just under the full line. I filled it up in Penang. Drove to Kingoonya, went to 120, mate, 180 litres or whatever. Drove around Kingoonya a bit, probably did at least 100 k's in there. Something like that anyway. Whatever I said this morning in the videos where it started, plenty of fuel. So, you know, you could even take, as far as I'm concerned, you could take a standard vehicle with a 70, 80 litre tank like a Hilux up here. Not sure about that, but not thinking too hard about it. You'd fill it up to the brim, you'd drive it nice, as long as you didn't muck around out here too much, because you can spend a lot of time driving around the lake, going out to Mount Fink and, you know, bits and pieces like that, where this is just a drive through. So this is to give you an idea. So if you know what you get in sand and off-road mileage, well, you can work it out. Like I said, it's a couple hundred k's to the top, but there's no fuel at the top. You have to drive along somewhere else. I don't think there's fuel at Kingoonya, but not far from there, out at wherever it is on the highway. So you're probably going to need 500k range, something like that, including soft sand in here. So with a Hilux, you might take a jerry can or something just in case. I think with a jerry can, even if it's not enough, somebody that comes past that, you know, you've poured it in, you've run out of fuel and you're not far, you can find a nice person that stops and says, hey, you know, everything okay? And you say, well, actually it's not. I used a bit more fuel than I thought. I'm out of fuel. They can take the jerry can for you and fill it up and bring it back to you if they're nice and if you're nice. So something to think about. Jerry cans do come in handy if you only got one. If you're not sure, you got a Hilux, you got room for it there, haven't you? So probably a good idea to carry one if you're not sure. Some of these tracks are rough. The last one I just went up had a chicken on it. I didn't bother with the chicken. Give you an idea. So I said I'd do this earlier. And if you go slow, it just shakes you up just as much. You're just there for longer. You could even go quicker than that, but you know, that's what I did this time. I had lots of different speeds. It's untidy. It's chopped up. Well, at 2:28 p.m, 270 on the Trip A. We just passed the signs, you know, where they face the other way saying Googs track, channel 18, whatever. So from memory and that, I believe that's probably the end of the sand dunes. You know, just when you think you're out of the dunes, you go a bit further like this and there's a couple more dunes. So there might be more. I'm just thinking that might be the end of the dunes. 10 kilometres to go. Yeah, no, I'm trying to be funny, I know. Corrugated for the last 10 kilometres, and you've got a 40 kilometre speed limit, and a lot of the track isn't straight, so you couldn't go fast anyway. There it is, the end of Googs track, and we will be pumping up the tyres. Bada bing, bada boom, we did that in a day. It is 3 p.m. There you go. So 7, 8, what's that? 5, 6, 8 hours. There you go. They even put the special sign for you. So Googs track, we're up the top at the north end, all finished. The end. So if you want to see more, this is the road that it intersects with. Bada bing, bada boom. Like, subscribe, turn the bell on, whatever you want. Catch you on the next one. See ya. We may as well do a little bit extra. So this is Tarcoola Road. It's about 130 k's to Kingoonya. Stopping at Kingoonya Park. Alright, that's it. Wrapping it up. It's a bada bing, bada boom. We're going to check out some other outback roads. I'll do some short trip road report type videos just to let you know condition, what things are like on the dirt roads we go on, or any other exciting things we see. Like yesterday we came across a truck that was blocking the road, so the air highway, the truck, I don't know where he came from, out of a side road at speed, might have been busy watching movies or something, didn't stop. Lucky cars and trucks weren't coming at the time. He's tried to turn, taken it wide, gone straight across the road and sunk it on the other side of the road in the ditch.